I remember we had the Operation Underground, the railroad people. And then in my group, I just remember brain scientist. You can't forget someone when they say they're a brain scientist. I mean, you just can't. And we had Kevin who just kept coming back for more. He just came
Oh
back.
yeah, top shelf. Yeah, I didn't forget about him.
Yeah, yeah. And I actually have a photo of the SERE team that I was with because we did the foraging. Is that what it is? Where you go, hunt, find stuff in the woods. We all did that together afterwards. So after we like went through it, like being in that survival school, it was interesting because in a way too, I'm sizing people up. I'm wondering like, and in my head, I wanted to know what these guys were thinking because I was coming from Coach Mac's world where he was like teaching me things that I wouldn't have done in the SERE experience. I kept going up to these guys and I'm like, you guys let me know if you need anything. And they're like, in their mind, I'm just like, what are they thinking? Like, what does she need from us? But I just kept on doing my best to focus on everybody else because I was legit like, when am I getting kidnapped? What is going on? And I'm also terrified. There was just so many fears, terrified of the dark. I couldn't sleep the first night because I also thought I thought someone was going to come into the tent. I thought someone was going to take me right then and there. It was a psychological game. You won that round and I couldn't sleep. I was also freezing. I got this sleeping bag that said like good for 20 below, false marketing. It was not good for 20 below. I was so cold all night, wide awake, wondering, looking over my shoulder 24/7. I don't like the dark. I don't like being alone. I don't like being alone in the dark. Like none of that was fun. So I was just like, oh my God. And then the next morning though, you were like, how's your night? And I was like, this is where I'm going to get them to because I wanted you so concerned about me, so concerned that it was going to be a little bit easier, where I was like, I didn't sleep all night. And I wasn't lying. I was like, well, 100% like didn't sleep, but I definitely hammed it up because I wanted to, again, be like, oh my God, she didn't sleep for the night. She's not going to sleep tonight. Like, I was doing my best to get you guys to like really get a little concerned.
Uh,
And I want to know, like, did that work? Were you a bit worried? Like I wasn't going to make it through? Were you a bit worried? Like about, I mean, because another thing too is that like at one point when we escape, you're on your own all night, like you and your partner, but you as an instructor, do you worry about that? Like, are they going to make it? Am I going to see them in the morning? Like, do you think about that?
Not even a little bit. Couldn't I couldn't care any less how you felt. I really couldn't. What I was concerned about was is she a rule follower? Is she gonna stay with the group? If she stays with the group, totally fine. She's gonna suffer all night. And that's where I want you to be. I want you to suffer. But the safety part of it, you're with a group. You're fine. You're fine. So that's the part that I was really worried about. And then every morning, I would look at y'all and do basically a medical assessment. Is anything broken? Is anything bleeding? Are they breathing okay? Are they about to go crazy? So I would assess you that way, basically all the time.
Mhm.
And you were fine. You were fine. So I didn't know that you were trying to do the damsel in distress or whatever you want to call it.
Doing my
Uh,
best. Yeah.
yeah, I didn't know you're doing that. But during the interrogations, I was gonna take you right to that line and really figure out where the act is and where the act isn't. That was my
Mhm.
plan. But
I was
you had
ready for it. I mean, I was ready for it. Like I knew the moment. Well, the thing too is that I knew that you knew I was a trained actress. So that was another thing I was fighting against because I'm like, oh, I wish I didn't give that information up. And so that part, because I was like, anything I do, you might not believe, so because of that aspect. And plus, you picked me to give that lie story where everyone had to believe it was true or not true. And when I fooled everyone by saying my story was a complete lie and I cried in the story, I was like, I feel like I ruined it for myself because if I was to cry, who's to say you'd even believe it,